stop getting pulled back into bad habits. I'm actually rather undisciplined. And this makes me very vulnerable to say this because in the self-improvement space, we're all supposed to do the hard work without feeling like it. But if I'm being honest, I'm not good at that. I've never been like that, but I've always wanted to be like that. So I try hard to be disciplined. I want to be disciplined, but I'm not disciplined, at least not disciplined enough. In my eyes, I suck at discipline. I suck at doing the work when I don't feel like it. You know what goes hand in hand with lacking discipline? Struggling like a child with bad habits. Because yes, I've had phases where I've stopped my habits completely for a week, but they sneak back up on me and they sneak back into my life and they pull me back in. And honestly, before I developed this 4-step protocol, I was lost. Watching YouTube is my biggest culprit. I still do it to this day. And without following this 4-step protocol that I'm gonna let you in on in this video, I'm doomed. I would watch YouTube every single day because I lack discipline. So now this protocol is actually like a staple when I have to get rid of any bad habit and have it not creep back in a week later. And it's been an absolute game changer. And like, this is really trial and error, because take it from someone who struggled with bad habits his whole life, like porn, video games, YouTube, Instagram reels. That was my life for 20 years of my life. You know, I'm 23 now. I started my self-improvement journey with around 21 and a half. So it's not been that long. So until 21, like especially from 16 to 21, bad habits were all I knew, man. Video games every single day, social media every single day. So I had to come up with something that allowed me to, without extremely ice cold discipline, because I've tried. An interesting story with what bad habits did to me and my mental health was actually just recently, about a month ago, because I'm in a phase where I have a lot of pressure on myself, right? My mom, she died 1 year ago in a few months. So I have my apartment now, right? I have no fallback. I have to rely on myself. And so obviously that comes with a lot of stress. 1 month ago, I had a day where I didn't really have anything planned. So I was very excited for it because these days allow me to work on my business and brainstorm and map out my future. And so the evening before, I did everything right. I planned my day. I wrote down what I want to do. I even time blocked my next day. I got up in the morning and I did my morning routine. That was fine. So when I sat down to work, instead of doing what I wanted to do, what would have made me happy, what would have made me feel accomplished, I decided to just go on YouTube for a short amount of time. So you probably know this feeling if you're like very excited for a day because you can work on something that you've been wanting to work on. For example, if you want to build a business or maybe a YouTube channel, and like that's something that you're really looking forward to, even though you know, yeah, it's hard work, but you want to do it. Like you like doing it, it creates your future. You have good dopamine. And guess what I did with those 20 to 30 minutes of YouTube? I spent 5 hours on the platform. 5 hours. And you know what I did after that? After I realized what had just happened, I actually started crying because I was so goddamn frustrated that I once again let this app, this website, control my life. I didn't feel happy or fulfilled after. I felt like a fuck up loser. You know, I didn't burst out in tears, but I was so frustrated that I genuinely started crying. And I did this, you know? I don't know if you know this. I used to do this when I was a child, very bad self-destructive habit. Like I punch myself with the palm of my hand, so it doesn't really hurt, but it's, you know, I punch myself because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong? Like that. And I cried, I was frustrated. I talked bad about myself. I insulted myself. And after an hour of doing that, and completely messing up my mental health, and any chance that I had to just make the most out of the rest of the day, I realized the problem wasn't me. Yes, I could be more disciplined. Yes, I lacked the discipline to simply not be on YouTube without this 4-step protocol, which I introduced after this occurred and worked on like very, very much. But we are sovereign individuals going up against trillions in advertising to keep us on this platform as long as possible, and it's working. It works. Like, you know this. You know this. You spend time on YouTube or social media or whatever your bad habit is, of why you're at this video right now. And I really was at the end of my strength. Because I'm not someone who thinks that men should never cry. Crying is very good and healthy. But obviously you need to be able to control your emotions and will. You need to be stoic, and this is not a situation where I want to cry due to frustration. I don't even want this to happen. And this is basically what I have come up with through a year, 1.5 years of killing all of my bad habits pretty successfully. Nowadays, I only have YouTube as a bad habit. I've successfully eliminated all other bad habits. The first step in this 4-step protocol, you need to remove all temptations and you need to remove easy access. And this is so crucial because before I did this, like I said, I lacked the discipline to simply resist the temptations. For months, I sweet talked and I said, no, I'm disciplined. I can do it with discipline. Well, I can't. At least not yet, while my brain was still so addicted to these things. So I had to remove easy access. So what you need to do if you struggle with video games, you delete all of them. And you also deinstall whatever it is you game on, like Steam. If you have a console, throw them away, bro. You don't need them. You don't want to play video games anymore. Sell them. You literally sell your console. That's it. You sell your console, bro. Like, I couldn't sell my computer because I worked on it every day, but I removed all games. I deinstalled them, and I didn't keep 1 or 2 backup games for when I can reward myself, because that would have the temptation right in front of me to just sit down and play those games whenever I lack the discipline, which is often. Same with YouTube. I installed cold turkey blocker. It's like a virus you install on your computer, right? It allows you to block websites forever. You can't deinstall it until you basically reset your entire computer. Now I can't block YouTube forever, but I had a time lock every morning from 6 to 2 p.m. It was locked, it was blocked. I couldn't go on it. I could not. My brain, because the addiction is so bad with me, found workarounds. Like, I went on a different laptop that was kind of broken, but I still like unpacked it. I plugged it in, bro, just to go on YouTube to watch some stupid shit. I swear to you, it was this bad in the beginning for me. And so I installed the blocker on that laptop as well. And after some time, I had no more access to YouTube in that designated period of time. Definitely recommend you to deinstall the app. You have to deinstall the app. The app is fucked. If you have the app on your phone, of course you're gonna spend time on there. If you have Instagram on your phone, of course you're gonna spend time on there. Same with TikTok. Deinstall apps, step 1. Secondly, you wanna install a blocker so that you can't go on the website in the browser. And I've done this with 2 different apps. So I have a blocker which blocks the website in and of itself. I also have a shortcut of Google Chrome, where when I go open Google Chrome or Safari, my phone shows me an image of myself. So I sit there and I'm like, oh, YouTube, I click it and I see my fucking loser self. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Right, and it's from down here, so I'm like ugly as shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I put it away. By the way, everything I'm mentioning, I'm putting in the description. So install these 2 things on your phone, the blocker and the shortcuts thing. And for computer, just remove all easy access of your bad habits, right? Video games, YouTube, but you have to do this. This is step 1, it's crucial. Same with your diet. If you wanna have a good diet, simply don't have trash food in your home. I haven't bought candy or chips or shit like that in months, maybe even a year, because I know when I have it, even though I am very conscious of the consequences of eating seed oils and all this bullshit. Back then, when I had it around me, I would just eat trash. Even me, who has never really struggled with my diet. I have nothing, none of that in my home. I don't have a stupid childish candy storage so that I'm like, oh, I want to eat candy, and then I just take a chocolate bar and eat it. Just don't have it in your home. And before doing this, especially with social media and YouTube and stuff like that, I would easily procrastinate 4 hours a day. And procrastination is just the thing that's holding you back. It's basically the only thing that's holding you back, a lack of discipline and procrastination, right? Which is why these two topics are very dear to my heart, to find ways to help people overcome these and build discipline and overcome procrastination, who maybe don't have it naturally or who just lack it even after trying. I don't scroll on Instagram because I don't have it on my phone or on YouTube, because that adds up. That's 20 minutes here and there, 10 minutes when you're waiting for someone, which leads to maybe 30 minutes. You fuck up your mind, and it adds up. 4 to 5 hours a day, easily, of procrastination. Imagine what you could do at 4 to 5 hours. It's like a part-time job. You're procrastinating as a part-time job per week. You could work on your business as a part-time job and build it within 6 months and be independent if you do things right. You have to remove easy access, and you have to remove any temptation of bad habits, all right? But really, any, because even if you keep a little bit, your mind is gonna think, oh, it's easy to get it. And you're gonna get it. You're gonna go get it. And it's just not easy to do this purely with discipline after years, like me, of indulging in it regularly, religiously, every single day. Second step in my protocol is you have to substitute bad habits instead of removing completely. Concept of this is that your brain will miss something. Your brain will be so drawn and addicted to these bad habits that when you remove them completely, it's going to be very, very hard, even if you remove easy access, for your brain to not go back into them and find them somewhere else, or find a different bad habit that you're going to substitute with the other bad habit. So you need to actively substitute your bad habits with good habits. Meaning, I switched out YouTube videos, even long form, because the addiction was too strong to click a different video after like a podcast. Because podcasts on YouTube, long form videos are very good, but it's hard to stick with that and not watch any other trash. So I would substitute all of my YouTube watching for audiobooks. And you know, if you're in self-improvement, like bro, you probably listen to audiobooks, right? But you also still have a bad habit of YouTube. You have to 100% audiobooks, 0% YouTube. And over time, your brain will appreciate the audiobooks. It's going to draw that same dopamine and conclusion to audiobooks as it had with YouTube, because you don't have easy access anymore. You can't really access it. And you know, well, instead of sitting in silence and being extremely tempted to go on YouTube and re-download the app and do some dumb shit to work around it, you're just gonna put on an audiobook. You're gonna substitute that bad habit. Same with a bad diet. Instead of always thinking about the chocolate being in your stomach, you could have the chocolate in a form of a healthier alternative. For example, if you're addicted to sugar, which is probably the most common addiction when it comes to diet or food, right? I know so many people in my circle who just eat sugar excessively, and it messes them up, especially their brains. And so you remove all sugar from your home. Okay, your brain is gonna wanna go out and buy a bunch of sugar back from the store. So what you need to do is you need to stock up on healthy alternatives to sugar: dates, raw honey, bananas, apples, grapes, like normal stuff, mangoes, like organic mangoes. And you need to start consuming that whenever you feel like eating sugar. Because in the beginning, you're gonna be so addicted to sugar. It's more addictive than cocaine from what I know. You're gonna try to do anything to get that. So substituting is so important here. Pornography, you should substitute with the gym, for example. Video games, you should substitute with building a business. That's the second step, and these two together already work wonders. So removing easy access and then substituting your cravings with a healthier alternative to start building good habits in all areas of life. And one will not work without the other. Third step in my 4-step protocol to stop being pulled into bad habits is accountability. The concept of accountability is very, very important, because at the end of the day, your own brain, like, bro, like, you bullshit yourself all the time. I do it all the time. I tell myself, oh, well, you know, maybe just a little bit of YouTube, not that bad. And then it ends up being 5 hours, and then I fucking punch my fucking face and I start like crying and being so frustrated and fuck up my mental health. So what you need, because you yourself, it's not gonna end that well, man. Like, let's be honest, you're a Jeffrey, I was a Jeffrey. And these addictions are tough to get over. So the first 2 steps definitely will, for some of you, already do the trick. But accountability is like it's the key. Because once you have these first 2 steps in place, the 3rd step, accountability with a friend, ideally with a good friend that you know in real life, is gonna absolutely have you not go into bad habits ever again. Trust me, this is the thing that's helped me, right? And the thing with accountability is you might be overwhelmed, so I'm gonna tell you how to set up an accountability partner with your friend, all right? If you have a good friend, this is the best way to do it. Just tell him, and ideally he's a friend who's on self-improvement, right? That's someone who you should have as accountability, but most people will get it. Like, most people will get it, man. So what you want to do is you want to text him or call him or just talk to him. Hey man, we should be accountability partners, or you should be mine. I want to give you 500 bucks. I did this, by the way. 500 euros if I have over 30 minutes of screen time on YouTube this week. And so you install a screen time app on your PC, and you have the screen time app on your phone anyway. So he's like, okay, 500 bucks, that's dope. He's gonna do it, obviously. Like, he doesn't even need to be your friend. Like, anyone will do that, right? But it should be a friend. So you make that deal, you write it down in just Apple Notes or something. You send that to him, like you sign it, you know, you make it like kind of funny, official. And so then you sit there on Monday. Ideally you do this on Sunday so that you have a fresh start on Monday, but you want to do like a week, right? Maybe you can do 3 days for the beginning to have the least resistance of actually starting and doing it, because the most important thing will be, and the hardest thing will be, to actually do this, right? You hear this now, but you have to actually do it, all right? And if you tell yourself, okay, I'll do it for 3 days, that's easy, I won't lose 500 bucks then, that's fine. Start with 1 day even, because you have to create the least resistance for your brain to even initiate this, right? Initiate this idea and this task. So start with whatever feels comfortable with you, but the most important thing is that you start, right? So you do this, and then you sit there on Monday morning and you're like, you're on the toilet, right? You're in the bathroom, and there's the YouTube app, which you deleted actually. So there's no YouTube app, but you're thinking of re-downloading it. But then you're like, I don't even have 500 bucks. I would have to lend myself 500 bucks and give it to him if I fuck this up. Like, this is a horrible situation. This is terrible. If I lose, I'm broke as shit. You're not gonna be on YouTube. And this worked for me. Even though I have money, I had a lot of money on my account, I still didn't want to just give 500 bucks away. It's a lot of money. Now, if I did this with 100 bucks, for me, I'd be like, fuck it. My brain would be like, fuck it. So that's why I did 500. For you, you know, of course you can do 100, 150. Maybe you're a broke college student or something, right? But just make it something that is very, very hard for you to just give away. I also did this with a perfume, because I love perfumes, with a friend, and they're like 80 bucks, 120 bucks. So I did that, and I placed it on my desk, and I wrote down and then my friend's name, for Jonas. And I wrote it down, and I had it here. Whenever I was working, I'll just YouTube up. Bro, I don't want to give my perfume away. And I didn't go on YouTube. So it's so strong, bro. And another tip, when you do the 500 bucks, if you have them, take the $500 out of your account, put them on your desk so that you can look at what you're about to lose when you mess up this week. And trust me, these 3 steps alone, this will change your life, bro. Like, this protocol will work if you actually execute and do everything that I'm saying in this video. So I have one more for you, and this one is also important. This is also this is not as practical as the other ones. This is more like a mindset and direction of life that you should be following and going to even have the motivation to do these first 3 essential steps. Because the fourth one is goal setting and just having your purpose in life. If you don't have goals, if you don't have a purpose, you're not even going to know why you want to quit these bad habits. You're not going to want to put in the work and undergo the mental struggle of removing all your video games from your computer or selling your console, because that's going to be hard. You're not going to be wanting to do that because you don't have goals you're doing it for. You don't have your purpose mapped out, or you don't even have to have it mapped out, but you should know where you want to go in your life. You should know what you want to build, what you want to do. And if you don't know yet, that's fine. You can still set goals like, bro, I just want to be jacked, but I don't go to the gym because I procrastinate all day with YouTube. Because all these bad habits, by the way, they're all a form of procrastination due to underlying reasons. Like, for example, if you have a fear of failure of a task, you're going to procrastinate with a specific activity like watching YouTube. This is the only reason why we end up in bad habits. Because as humans, we always want to do things. We want to check off things. We want to move forward. We want to make progress, especially as like masculine young men, bro. Like, you think about business, money, finances, cars, gym, boxing, all this stuff. That's what you want to do, but not doing it is simply procrastinating due to lack of clarity, fear of failure, social stress and anxiety, struggling to abstain from momentary pleasure. These are all reasons underlying in your inner core that cause you to procrastinate, which is the biggest problem that you have. All these bad habits are all procrastination, right? Which then leads you to just watch YouTube for 5 hours because you're procrastinating because of some underlying reason. And figuring that out is very, very essential to also stopping bad habits. It's not in my 4-step protocol here, but it's a general advice I would give you to take a deep dive on what procrastination is and why do you procrastinate. I also made a video on that, by the way, check that out here. But let's get back to goal setting. Goal setting is very crucial to know why you're doing these things. So what I can tell you is, once you start getting a little more mindful and you start knowing the direction you want to go, doing these 3 other steps is going to be very easy, right? I look at my goals every morning and I notice an immediate mindset switch, like a shift of focus of, it would be nice to make progress today because I see the goal in front of me. And I'm someone who advocates for the saying, always, only do the things that you want to do. Only do the things that bring you joy. And everything you do should bring you joy. And even the things that you don't want to do, you should do them with joy. And so everything that I do, I have to be doing with joy and excitement, because why else would I do it? Do you understand what I mean? If I'm working a job and I'm like, oh, I fucking hate this job, then why are you working it? You like the job because it gives you money and security to build your business on the side, or you learn from it, or you gain life XP, right? You need to level up. So we're all doing things for a reason, and having goals always sets me up right. It sets me up right. Why am I not eating? Why do I have my drawers full of good, high quality food? Because I want to be healthy, live long, be cognitively able, have a nice body, have high energy. And reviewing your goals whenever you feel like doing a bad habit, trust me, I don't know why nobody has said this, but I haven't heard anyone talk about this, and you have an urge to PMO, look at your goals, your big list of goals. Make one, like make one right this evening, bro. Like if you're watching this video, make one after this video. Just simple, don't overthink it. Jot down goals that you want to achieve in your life goals. Trust me, it's hard. Make a list of 100 goals that you want to achieve in your life. After 20 or 30 goals, it gets fucking difficult. But once you've done that, for me it took 2 months to do that. 2 months to write down 100 goals. It's difficult. And once you do that, you're gonna be like, damn, I don't wanna procrastinate with YouTube. That's a crucial step to make everything worth it. But that is my 4-step protocol, and I truly encourage you to try this out. Implement everything that you've heard. Truly implement everything that you've heard. Not just sit here and watch the video. Like, I want you to really implement these things and watch the video again, because I covered a lot. There's a lot of information in here. I want you to watch it again to internalize these things. And all of these steps, they build off of each other. You should do all of them together. Not just 1 or 2, you should do all of them. And if you do this, I promise you, you're not gonna be pulled into bad habits again. I promise you. Yes, here and there, of course, some minor relapses. It happens to me. Sometimes I'm on YouTube and I end up watching like a Dan Coe video, which is great. I love him. And then I watch some other shit for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but then, well, fuck this. Then I close it. But that comes from experience. That only comes from experience. And personally, overcoming bad habits was the best and hardest thing that I ever did for myself. So just know that it is not an easy task. It's a long process, and it's all right to relapse here and there. It really is, because it's gonna happen and you can't be beating yourself up over it. You have to learn from it, you have to iterate, you have to better yourself, but you can't be frustrated like what happened to me. Or you've probably also experienced this, like when you plan a perfect day, you just end up wasting it on bad habits and you feel like shit at the end of the day. You just feel like shit. And it's important to just be mindfully aware that it's a process, it's a journey. And just watching this video until here, bro, if you watched until here, I'm genuinely impressed. This is probably my longest video I've ever recorded, but I really try to make it as valuable as I can. And like, leave a comment. I want to know who you are if you watched until here. Be aware that this is a great step for you. Congratulations. Because just awareness is step number 1, and implementation is step number 2, right? But action is really like 80 to 90% of things, of making progress. So make sure to maybe even rewatch the video, like I said, but implement these things. I also put timestamps so that you can skip around if you want to rewatch. And progress matters more than perfection here. Don't do everything at once, all the time. I think it's stupid. Yeah, you have to build off of the things that you implement. They build on top of each other. You know, Hamza always says, everything all at once, cold turkey, instantly. It's not practical. Most people can't do that. And so that's why I encourage you to try out this routine, this 4-step protocol, and tell me what you think. Tell me what happens. DM me on Instagram. I reply to all my DMs, and you can also check the description to find a lot of good stuff. I have a PDF that will help you realize, stop, and replace your procrastination habits with better ones, which is also going to actually play very well into this 4-step protocol. So go download that. I also offer coaching if you want to like genuinely transform your life with practical accountability on my end. I know how to do accountability. I know how to teach you how to actually implement these things. So yeah, check it out in the description. And look, once again, if you watched till here, thank you so much. This style is new to me, very, very long form. So I would love your feedback. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video, man. Take care.